All right, what do I think about multi-level marketing, also known as MLM? As many of you who do follow Secret Entourage may know, we have a multitude of articles written on Secret Entourage against some of the bigger MLMs out there. Now, let's kind of understand the context of what MLM is, because how it is presented to you is not really what it is. It is sold to you as an entrepreneurial opportunity to own your own business. What it really is an opportunity to become a salesman independently for another company while believing you're building your own business so that you can work like a slave and barely get any money because you get the smallest part of the margin. That's what it really is. Believe it or not, you like it or not, shit is real and that's what it is. So, how does it work? Well, you get suckered into a program where you pay money and you become ultimately, like let's use Vima as an example. You become the #1 source of their sales. You are supposed to buy a product which you're told is at discount so you can resell it at a retail price. Now, this is no different than saying you're going to go to a wholesaler, buy a whole batch of bottles of water, and then go and try to sell them at the same price that the retailer, the giant food store company, sells it for. It doesn't make any fucking sense, especially because the product isn't good enough to be on the shelves, which is why it is sold that way, because you're the sucker buying it. And you are the #1 reason why they make money, because you have to buy it in order to sell it. So how does it work? Think about it this way. If you go, and I'm using Vima as an example, but because it's completely retarded, if you go on their website, on their very own website, I'm not saying on an independent website, don't Google, is Vima real, is it a scam or not? Go on the official Vima website. Click on their disclaimers, and it'll have an earnings disclaimer. This earning disclaimer will show you that 0.1%, now I'm not saying 1%, I'm saying 0.1% last year made over $12,000 a year with Vima. 0.1%. Now, again, I didn't say 1%. I said 0.1%. Made more than $12,000 a year. Now, I didn't say made more than $1 million a year. I said made more than $12,000 a year, which is probably about a tenth of what you could make working within a corporation in 5 years and moving up to a 100K salary. Or it is a third of what you make working at Starbucks as a barista. Now, do you want to have the stress and the hustle of constantly running around trying to sell energy drinks so that you can end up, if you're lucky, part of the 0.1% that make over $12,000? No, you don't. And the reason why that is because that 0.1% is the ownership team. The MLM market works this way. You buy into the dream, you work, and then they make you believe that you were not capable, which is why you failed. They make you believe that people are lazy, they just join and they never do work, that's why they don't succeed, but that is completely not the case. People don't succeed because, one, the product's crap, two, it often isn't good enough to be sold on the shelves, and three, because it was never intended to be resold. It was intended to be sold to you, and therefore you're buying it, so they're making their money. So the people on top are making money. You then convincing other poor people that this is a good opportunity when it's not really an opportunity is completely ludicrous. So don't waste your time with MLM, and don't come on this page telling me that, oh, you should try your product first, because here's the reality. We have posted an article on 5links, Primerica, and Vitalis, the three major ones that kind of started this more Gen Y trend of MLM. I have yet to discuss Vima until this video because I just don't give a shit anymore. It's completely pointless. If you're that stupid, you're that stupid. But the whole goal with MLM is to get you, which is why, despite those three articles indexing on page 1 of Google, despite these articles having thousands of comments, I have asked one thing of any MLM person that actually works there. I said on that article, I will take down any of these articles from the website if you can show me one proof, real legitimate proof, that you have made real legitimate money over $100,000 from any MLM with legitimate proof other than just a pay stub. Meaning, you can't create a pay stub. You have to show me a transaction that says coming from that MLM. It could be a matching statement to a matching pay stub. You show me that, and I'll take down all the articles, and I'll shut the fuck up. Until then, no one's been able to prove me wrong, yet over 3,000, I think 4, maybe 5,000 people total have commented on these articles, and not one, despite arguing like 6 pages of arguments, have been able to demonstrate one pay stub. Why do they buy into it? Why do people buy into the bullshit? Because it's hitting at the core of their emotions. They have nothing else to do. They can't get a job. They can't like start a business because they think they need resources and funds because they don't understand shit about running a business. So the reality is they hold on to this one and only thing they have. And if you argue with MLM people about this one thing they hold on to, they believe in, then it hurts them because you're ultimately fighting the core of the only thing they have they believe in because they don't have something else. So if they don't have belief in Vima and Vicilis and this, what else are they going to have? Nothing. They're going to sit their ass at home, be broke, but they're broke anyways, and they'll remain broke if they stay in the MLM. So you see, this cycle is never ending. The only way you'll get out of it and the only way you'll be successful is if you start relying on yourself to be successful and stop relying on others to tell you what to do to succeed. So if you need to be successful, then you go out there and you get shit done. You get a job for 5 years. You earn money to build the business you want, even if that means you have to work at McDonald's first to then get to a place where you can start your own business. If you need to start your own business from scratch with no money, then you put up with the struggle. You sleep on the floor at work instead of your house. You make sure you sacrifice time away from your kids or your family to make sure that you succeed. Because the reality is success doesn't come to those who just want it handed to them or who want it spoon-fed. It comes to those who get their ass out there, do something, and ultimately work harder than most, work in the out of their comfort zone, not within it. So if you're within it and someone tells you you can make a lot of money not doing shit, then that's obviously that they're going to make a lot of money off of you while they're not doing shit. So that's how it works. So I don't dislike MLM marketing. I just don't give a shit about it. It's just bullshit because nobody that's in it can prove anything. Half the people that are in it pretend to have cars and shit they rent. Even some of the top people at Vima, the top of the top, like still can't fucking afford a base model Bentley that's like used for like 50 grand, so they have to go rent one. So think about that shit. Like think about like how stupid that is. It doesn't even make any sense. I was at a presentation by Primerica where the guy was showing a picture of a 911 Turbo and was saying, hey, look, I rented this while I was on my trip. Most people will never be in a 911 Turbo. And I'm looking at the guy, I'm like, my 911 Turbo is in the parking lot. What are you talking about? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, they're appealing to people who are poor, who aspire to be great, and who have no idea what the fuck to do with it. So they spoon feed them shit and make them believe there's hope when there isn't. You buy into the hope, then someone like me comes around and shatters that hope, then you hate me. But you'll eventually come around and you'll eventually understand. So just don't say I didn't tell you so. Am I happy where I am? Am I content, or do I seek more opportunities? Honestly, neither. I'm content and happy with what